Welcome to Just Drinking Problems. This is the 10th episode, and I got the beautiful Miss Anna back. And this is our first double digit episode. So that means when this is out, this show's been around for 10 weeks or more. And I think this is the most important, our most fucked up, our most honest, our most real video we've done yet. And we're calling it Go Woke, Go Broke. It's a big topic. It's kind of been going around for a while. I mean, you had a Gillette commercial from the Super Bowl, I don't know, a year or two back. A bunch of companies have been starting to lean left, and they just keep on fucking leaning. I don't know how they haven't fallen over yet. Well, some have. I mean, everyone knows about Bud Light. It's actually like a term now. Or, oh, this company got Bud Lighted. Like, it's an actual, like, if I was Bud Light, I would be really freaking pissed that, like, other companies are getting called, oh, they got Bud Lighted. You know, like, that's a fucking kick in the balls over and over again.
Yeah.
And actually, I had a pregame this episode. Just watching some of these videos to collect them was stressful as hell. Not to mention that we are done with fuck TikTok, man. Fuck TikTok. I tried pulling TikTok up on my normal show computer, and it wouldn't play the videos. So, like, Anna found some really good videos, and she emailed them to justdrinkerproblems@gmail.com if you happen to want to throw in a show topic suggestion or something like that. That's the email address for the show. And I tried pulling them up on the computer, and they just wouldn't play. And I don't know why. We tried Google, we tried Bing, and who the fuck used Bing? But like we just couldn't get it to play. And eventually, what we had to do is had to log into her TikTok account on her computer and go to her, like, favorite all the videos we wanted. Anyway, it was a pain in the ass. So for now on, we're going to use YouTube Shorts because obviously Google owns YouTube and it works. But maybe there's some kind of rivalry or something going on between TikTok and YouTube. I don't know, but I've been pissed off for a minute now. Because this...
Definitely something to drink about.
Oh, yeah. You know, that's a good idea. Let's just go ahead and cheers this, because it's only going to go downhill from here. Because this whole going woke corporate bullshit...
We're probably going to get canceled, too.
Yeah, probably. This is our last episode. Hope y'all enjoy it. It was fun while it lasted. Good run. Speaking of... So our last episode we did was obesity, which I thought was a really good topic, really good conversation. It made a good episode, and it was the first one to break triple digits. Like I said, we just started. This is now 10 weeks.
No, that was 8 weeks ago. I mean, it was the 8th video, sorry.
Yeah, so it was a couple weeks ago. First one to get over 100 views, so thank you all for that. But we only got like 23 subscribers, and I always hate it. I watch a lot of YouTube, man, which is kind of why I wanted to do a show like this. But I always hated YouTubers that would make make a show, make content, and be like, "Hey, will you please subscribe? Please like and comment. Please follow me.
Like, subscribe, and comment."
Yeah, I always hated that. Like, man, if I want to follow you, I'll follow you. I promise you, I know how YouTube works. You know, or wherever I see your content, I can figure that shit out. But it really, really helps. And now that, you know, I'm actually making content myself, I get it. It really helps. So if you like the kind of content we make, and if you want the algorithm to show this episode or other episodes, and you want to promote the show, like, we don't have any type of Patreon or anything like that for people to support monetarily. Like, we don't get paid for this. You got to at least have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours just to get monetized on YouTube. So we don't get any money for this. This is our free time. We do this because we like it. And we like that, you know, 100 people watched that last episode. That was awesome. I appreciate that we're getting some type of attention and attraction, and people are actually watching the conversation, and hopefully they're basing, you know, well, maybe not basing, but using the stuff that we put out to either challenge their ideas or grow their ideas or change their ideas, or just
at least can see the other side or the perspective we're coming from.
Maybe so, or maybe they totally agree with us. Either way, it's a cultural war right now in America, and this episode definitely fucking proves that. And I feel like if you are on or anywhere associated with our side as conservative or Republican, or just you like the traditional American values, and if you want other people to see what we're doing or to share those type of ideas, then go ahead and subscribe, man. Like, it's free. It don't cost you anything, but it helps. It helps the YouTube algorithm shows us to more people. Basically, what I'm trying to say. So anyway, enough of that lame YouTuber bullshit. And you may be watching this on Rumble or one of your podcast things, because this is on everything, man. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, TuneIn, like a bunch of other things I never even heard of before, but we're on them. That's basically we're trying to spread a word. We're trying to do our part to maybe slow down, if anything, this cultural change in America. And it's a lot worse than I originally thought it was before we ever started doing this shit. Like, man, it's bad. And let's just get into it, dude, because this is ridiculous. So, go woke, go broke. You obviously have heard about a bunch of different companies they're losing their fucking mind and losing billions doing it, but more companies keep doing it. And then at first, like, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, man, if you are a grocery store, sell groceries. If you're in a sports apparel company, sell some sports shit. Or if you are an alcoholic company, sell fucking alcohol. That's it. And your advertisement should be about your products. Why are you getting political? Because, I mean, look at all of our elections. It's roughly 50-50 leaning left, roughly 50-50 leaning right. So if you're a company and you make a political statement, you're literally shitting on half the population of the country.
Mm-hmm.
You know? That don't make sense to me. I want to sell to everybody. And I don't care about your race or your age or your religion or your sexual preference. I don't care about none of that. I care about United States currency. That's what I want. That's why I got in business. And every business got in business, unless they're a nonprofit, to make money. So why get political and shit on 50% of the possible customers that you have? It didn't make sense to me until we got into this shit. Now it makes sense. And this is going to come off like a conspiracy, because it definitely fucking sounds like one. But real life is not a conspiracy. And this shit is really going down, and it makes fucking perfect sense if you dig into it. And I definitely encourage everybody to dig deeper into it. Don't just take this show. Like, actually Google some shit. Read some other reports. Watch some other videos. However you like to consume your content or gain your information, dig deeper into it, because we are in a cultural war, whether you realize it or not. And to me, like, I'm fine. I feel the way I feel. I think the way I think. I do the things that I do for my own reasons. And that's the way I was brought up. I'm worried about our future generations, like our children now, or even worse, their fucking children. What kind of America is there going to be when they're our age, or they're adults and they're in the workplace and they're trying to do things and enjoy their civil rights and their liberties and the America that we know today? I don't.
It's going to shit.
If we don't do something about it, if we don't stand up, conservatives, I mean, it's going to be unrecognizable. And sure, you could say, well, that's just the way things go. Like, if you go back to our parents or our grandparents, and they're our age, they wouldn't recognize today if they could fast forward from their 20s to now. Like, that many decades, too many things happen. Things always change. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about internet and social media. They didn't have that. They didn't know what a smartphone was, or a laptop, a tablet, a smart TV. That shit wasn't around. I mean, everyone watched Walter Cronkite. What's his name? Walter Con. Fuck, I'm an idiot. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. If you know, you know. So, like, everyone just watched the news. The news reported what happened, and they weren't biased. And everyone read the newspaper, and it's like, cool, that happened yesterday. Now I know. But it's so fucking thick with bullshit now, and the agendas, and the one-sidedness, and the biases, and you don't know who to trust. I mean, even if you consider yourself, I'm part of this party, you can't really trust them politicians.
No,
and there's not a news network that you can really trust. And I really think it's because of the fucking money.
Absolutely.
But then again, it's not. Because why would these companies advertise like some just way out of the fucking box anti-American fucking bullshit and lose billions of dollars? And see another company do it and then copycat and lose billions of dollars. You know, you got freaking
because of the money. They are funded by like what, 6 groups they said or something. I mean, obviously we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
But
well, Vanguard, BlackRock, and there's another one. There's really top three. There may be more than that, but
that control like 90% of the biggest companies in the world, like gazillionaires.
Yeah, and that's where the conspiracy theory type sounding shit comes from. But it's real.
Yeah.
And it's fucking crazy. And you would think like, okay, well, I'm just not going to shop at Target anymore because they have clothing items targeted to kids for gay and transgender stuff. I'm like, why is this even a fucking thing? This is all of that mentality, that ideology that's based around sexuality. I don't want my kids to be sexual. No. They're fucking kids. They haven't been through puberty yet. I don't want them to know what bisexual it is, or transsexual, or homosexual. I don't even want them to know what heterosexual is. They're just kids. Let them be kids. Let them play and laugh and enjoy life before they even have to go into the real world and worry about that kind of shit. They're just children. They're innocent by nature, but we're forcing this shit down their throat in their schools. I mean, in grocery stores, on anything that has a screen. They're just getting slapped in the face with this shit, and it's horrible. Yeah. Like when we were kids, I didn't know what that shit was, nor have I heard it. You know, like I was more worried about BMX bikes and Tony Hawk, you know, riding skateboards and like dirt bikes and cool shit. You know what I mean? Like WWE, Stone Cold Steve Austin, like that was the shit that was in my head. Like that's American ass shit, like extreme sports, you know? And like cops were heroes, soldiers were heroes, firefighters were heroes, you know? Our teachers, whether we wanted to sit down, be still, and be quiet or not, they were always in charge. They were always right. They weren't trying to groom us to change our gender or hide shit from our parents. Like the shit that's going on today wasn't even imaginable back then. And that's what worries me, because like our kids are going to grow up in this shit. What about their kids, man? They're going to look at our childhoods like ancient Egypt, you know, like yeah, way back then, you know, that shit happened, but not, you know, that's like so long ago. That was like 50 years ago. You know what I mean? That's like rotary phones and Rolodexes, or typewriters.
TV.
Yeah, you know, like
what is a cell phone? Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they have cell phones.
No, I'm talking about the 50 years ago thing.
Yeah, it's just sad. Anyway, so like I said, TikTok was being a fucking dickhole, and we got some videos.
Hopefully they work.
In a list that we can click on, and we're going to show you guys the kind of shit that we were seeing and why we chose this topic today. But one video I thought was pretty damn good, and for some reason we couldn't get it to play on the computer. We got it on your phone. You just want to start out with that one so we can get rid of the phone?
Sure.
Okay. And like I said, we just watched some stuff and then tried to save it so we can share it with y'all. There's going to be all kind of different stuff, and we're going to comment on it. No particular order. This is completely random. We just thought this would be a good one for the show, so we tracked it. So let's start off. This is going to be on our phone, and I'm going to hold it to the mic so y'all can hear. And if you can't see, sorry. But we'll throw the rest of them on that TV, so maybe y'all can see a little better. So let's go with
the tagline so they can actually watch it if they really want to.
Carlos Silva. Hashtag ESG, hashtag woke, hashtag fairness. Whatever, dude.
Yeah, but that'd be hard to do. I'm going to post the very first video that I ever posted on social media. That video went viral. Over 800 million views. That's when we stopped counting. That video outlined the tip of the iceberg of what ESG is and why it's so dangerous to our nation. I was called crazy, a crackpot, and so on, but it's come.
All right. First off,
Oh yeah.
he said ESG, and there's a couple of things, and I had to Google this stuff too, but ESG is environmental, social, and political governance. Or no, sorry, environmental, social, corporate governance. So ESG, that's an acronym, and that's what it means. We also had, what's the other one?
DEI.
Yep, I text this to you, so I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Oh my God, look at all the TikToks. That's how we save it, text it to ourselves. I'm gonna find it. There's 3 acronyms I thought were important because they come up in some of this content and they're a thing now. So you being on the know with these 3, you kind of understand when things are said or you hear things, whether it's on the news, social media, whatever. Holy shit, babe.
Why don't you go to your text messages, babe?
Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, ESG, environmental, social, and corporate governance.
Corporate.
That's what I said. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. CEI, corporate equality index. All right, so that's our 3. ESG, DEI, and CEI. That's some new fucked up woke shit. All right, so let's get back. Oh my God, I just lost the TikTok.
Let me see.
I didn't close it out. I just minimized to go to my text messages.
Full circle. You see, after they took all the faces of color off of products, now they're putting new faces on those products. One of the things you may not be aware of is that every brand that you use in this country, and I do mean every brand you use in this country, from Coca-Cola to Kentucky Fried Chicken to Kroger, are owned by 6 companies. So when they determine that, hey, they're going to erase something and they're moving in a different direction, there's nothing going to stop them. They work in unison with each other. Yep, they've all agreed to the ESG Pact. So when they decide that, hey, we don't want masculine men on our packaging, and we don't want to market masculine men, and we don't want effeminate women, but we don't want real women on packaging, guess what happens? They disappear. And you get this.
Dilemma of Amy.
Just to be clear, ESG is not a conservative ideology. It's a liberal ideology, a leftist ideology. The ideology that says we can do this. Over the last year, liberals have been hell-bent to take any person of color off of all branding in every store in the United States, saying that it's racist, that their faces...
Anyway, what he's showing there, because I'm sure y'all can't see on this tiny screen, and sorry about this low-budget redneck production going on here, but he's talking about like Angie Mama, Uncle Ben, Land O'Lakes, like those food products that had black people or Indian people as part of their logo. And it was like that for decades. And then all of a sudden, some political correctness bullshit, then they took them off. That's what he's talking about.
...are being used to sell a product, and that makes it racist. Or that it was from the past, that makes it racist. Yet, they've left every white face alone.
KFC,
they haven't gone
Quaker,
after one product that has a white face on it and called it racist
Burger
as well.
King,
So now we have
Little
stores
Debbie,
with no people of color represented on
Wendy's,
any branding, but all the white people are still there.
Chef Boyardee,
Liberals are no different than they've ever
Sunmaid,
been. Their tactics may have been different, but they
Bird's
don't want
Eye,
people of color anywhere they go, even on the packaging of the products they buy.
So what do you okay, that's it. Thanks. So what he's saying is they're trying to be politically correct, right? And the idea behind their political correctness is that they don't want to be racist, they don't want to be offensive to minorities. So, in order to do that, we're going to remove black people from product branding and Native Americans from product branding. But we ain't going to fuck with the white people. That don't make no goddamn sense. Well, none of it makes fucking sense. But we'll leave Wendy's little redheaded pigtail white chick. We'll leave KFC's, Colonel whatever the fuck his name is, and
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, Colonel Sanders. We'll leave all these white faces, but we'll take away the people of color. and that's going to be more correct, that's
Yes.
racist as fuck.
It just goes back to they do the opposite of what they say
Yeah.
every single time.
Lefties are 180 the fucking truth. Every time. Every time. And that's like, I should make a t-shirt. Rebelshirts.com should come out with a t-shirt that says lefties. I don't know. I'll work on it. Anyway, you get my point. It's just so ass backwards from common sense and logic. It's anti-truth. If you're a Democrat or you consider yourself a liberal, progressive, or you're extreme left, whatever terminology you want to use, if you're the type of person that falls in one of those camps and you agree with this changing active army bases names that's been around for a fucking century because they're somehow offensive and racist, like, or this product branding or any of this fucking bullshit, you're so goddamn wrong. It's just wrong. It's asinine. It's ass backwards. There's no other way to put it. It's just, it doesn't make sense. It's dumb. It's anti-truth. It's just brainwashing. That's why it seems like, oh, that you're a conspiracy theorist. You know, like, it just seems like this is just bait for those type of people. Like, if someone like me is saying this stuff out loud, it's like, what's wrong with you, man? You're racist, you're a bigot, you're a fascist, like, and all the labels come, but when you stop and think for just half a second, none of it makes sense.
Next thing you know, they're gonna change the name of the White House.
No, because it's white. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Uh-huh.
Man, you can't make sense of it.
Nope.
All right, so let's start off. Okay, this guy, he is actually a lefty, and he's gonna be. Let's just let him talk.
It is actually crazy what Republicans will be scammed into buying just to oppose wokeness. These Republicans have created Jeremy's Chocolate, saying stop giving your money to woke chocolate companies because apparently they're trying to combat Hershey's chocolate. And the bars say he, him, and she, her like pronouns. And I bet you Republicans are going to love it. They're going to buy it just to oppose wokeness. But in reality, they're just getting scammed out of their money to play into some stupid culture wars. Republicans are such...
Okay. I'm not calling for violence against anybody. Absolutely no call to action for violence against anybody. But me personally, I would love to bitch slap him. Because that is just ridiculous, man. So yes, Jeremy's Chocolate, I think that comes from, what's that company? Crap, I hate when I get put on the spot, and I put myself on the spot. It's the Daily Wire. The Daily Wire has a lot of big names, right? Like, anyway, you know the Daily Wire. And they came out with Jeremy's Chocolate when Hershey, the chocolate company, they came out being all woke. And they started putting some, like, woke shit on their candy bars. So they're like, yeah, you know what? Here's an alternative where actual correct pronouns, you got she, her, and he, him, and one of them has nuts. You can figure out which one. And it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of a joke. But it's a real company, and if you want to buy chocolate, you don't have to support one of those woke companies. So I get it, you know? It's smart. And it's not that Republicans will buy this stuff as in, I mean, I guess they will in a sort of like a protest because every dollar is a vote.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. But he's just shitting on it like it's ridiculous that somebody would come out and create this company. But
I mean, I think it's genius.
yeah, well, yeah, it's genius. Business wise, it is genius because, like, again, when you go
Alienate
woke,
half the damn population.
absolutely,
There's a whole new market for you.
yeah, because at least 50% of the population isn't about all this woke shit. They kind of like common sense, and they kind of like reality.
They actually live in it.
But he's making fun of it, speaking against, you know, Republicans is what he said. But I like I don't consider myself a Republican, which may sound kind of strange. I just consider myself a normal ass person. I don't live in fairy tale land. I don't dream about utopias. You know, I believe in things that I see and things that I can touch and what makes common sense and things that just lay out with logic. And I don't think that pronouns can be changed because you feel like changing them. You know, because you dress a certain way or you choose to live a certain way changes who you are in reality. You know what I mean? That's silly to me. That's like little girls dressing to be princesses. They're not really a princess, you know? Their parents aren't kings and queens, you know, like they're little girls. They're pretending because it's fun. But when you grow up, you stop pretending. You live in the real world. And when these companies go woke, they're participating through business in this pretend shit, which is 180 degrees from reality. It's ass backwards. And he's shitting on it, but really, like they're creating a market for people who don't like to live lies. Because that's exactly what these woke companies are doing. They're pushing lies in your face and shoving it down your throat, bitch slapping you with this agenda. So, I mean, while he may make fun of it or talk shit about it, it does make sense business wise, but it's also like, hey man, we get it. And we just created a company. So if you want chocolate, you don't have to support that bullshit.
Yeah.
Because if you buy Hershey's chocolate, you're supporting that bullshit. With every penny that you spend, you're choosing with your purchase to support that company and what they stand for. It's that simple. So they create an alternative. No, I mean, fuck that guy. Alright, let's go back.
Wait, are you gonna let him finish?
No, he was done.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so this guy will get into like the root of the issue is what we're talking about. And like while I say it sounds conspiracy theorist like, just listen to this dude. He's on point.
There's three initiatives that are put down through the World Economic Forum. One is called CEI, one is called ESG, and one is called DEI. These initiatives are put down as social initiatives from the World Economic Forum, the most powerful people on the planet, through the banks to the big corporations. These corporations, unlike my business, actually depend on that financing 100%. So if they don't do the things that these three initiatives, the CEI, the ESG, and the DEI say, they actually lose their funding, so they can't operate their business. So you say, well, aren't these people smart enough to understand why they're destroying their business? They can't not do it, because if they don't do it, they won't get their funding. So they can't operate. So they have no choice but to do it. And then they drive their business into the dirt. And here's why that's happening. Because the people who run these companies, the officers of the companies, are not the founders of the companies. These are people that are many generations removed and many degrees of caring about the actual brand removed, right? So these people are college graduates who think they know a whole bunch of stuff because they have an advanced degree, and they are making decisions that are, basically about the money and thinking that eventually people will adopt this and it will stop. But it's not going to stop, and it's not supposed to stop. This is what people are failing to realize. What's happening is we are dealing with a communist insurgency that is undermining the values and the identity of the American public.
Yep.
What they are doing is they are intentionally creating a scenario where the American people rejecting this initiative is actually hurting iconic American brands that remove much of the American identity. So when you name these companies off, all of these companies represent America when you think of them traditionally. So now they're removing part of the identity, which is part of the communist process called demoralization. If there's less identity in America, there's less to fight for, which makes it easier to conquer, right? Then on top of it, one of the goals of communism is to create two classes of people, very poor and very rich. And so what they're doing here is they are getting the American public to cancel their own companies that actually hurts their own neighbors who are good, hardworking American people. Because the people at Bud Light at the top are not the ones feeling the pain here. It's the delivery drivers. It's the hardworking red, white, and blue Americans that believe the same motherfucking shit that you all believe, who are getting fired or laid off or losing because of this. So they have run an operation to push this initiative down through the companies intentionally, where the companies cannot resist it because they're required to do so for their funding, knowing that the American people are going to reject it and destroy these companies, creating the lower class system that they're trying to create in the first place. All right. So it's more important to support the brands that actually stand for the right thing than it is to cancel the brands that don't. Just stop shopping there. Just stop going there. You don't have to try to ruin them forever. Once they figure out you've went somewhere else, their tune will change. There's 3 initiatives that are put down through the world.
Okay. So hopefully y'all heard that. If not, fucking rewind and listen to that dude again. His name is Jeremy Vasquez. And it says he posted this 1 day ago. Now this is Sunday. I'm going to post this up tomorrow, which is Monday, whenever you'll get a notification. If you subscribe, hit the bell and click all. You'll receive all notifications from this channel, and you'll actually see this on the day it comes out. We post every Monday. Again, shameless plug, trying to grow the channel. That's the only way to do it. So this is a call to action. Hit that subscribe button. If you agree with this content, want to see more of it, and we're obviously going to keep working at this show. So, I actually like this guy. One, because he looks like a true American and he cusses. Kind of my style, you know. I feel like I'd love to have a drink with him. Anyway, what he's saying, like, he's getting down to the root of this, and this is what I was talking about when it sounds like conspiracy theory. So it's not the actual companies. Like, obviously Bud Light's the most popular one, or most recent popular one we're talking about.
Light and Target, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not Bud Light itself. So if you see your delivery guy that's maybe not so much anymore, but hauling cases of Bud Light into your local store, your gas station, your grocery store, or whatever, and restocking, you know, the shelves or the cooler, it's not that guy, clearly. And it's not even so much the guys at the very top, the corporate level of Bud Light, but it's the upper companies that you never hear about that own Bud Light. And Bud Light don't own its fucking self.
Right.
So there's companies that own these companies, right? So it gets a little deeper. And these companies, they're the ones with the money, and they're saying, this is what you're going to do. Otherwise, you don't get your money, right? And the way I see that is the same thing as the federal government tells a state, you're going to do this, or you don't get any federal money. So, you're going to do it. You don't have a choice, is what I'm saying. And while I don't like that either in the structure of our company, because the Constitution says the states have more rights than the federal government, even though it's kind of flip-flopped, and we all know how our country works today, it's the same exact way with these corporations. So what he's saying is, sure, go ahead, boycott these companies, don't spend your money there, show them what you think about where you spend your dollars, right? Because every dollar is a vote kind of idea. And then they'll get the idea and they'll change their ways. And while that may work, it may not. I've also seen recent videos and pictures and stuff on social media about Bud Light in stores setting up their little stands or their like
Their displays.
displays as American flag, coming out with new commercials that are more traditional American value style, like their old ones. They're all like Heartland America type shit, and trying to recover. Like, it's fucking too late, bro. But like, sure, they don't like losing billions of dollars, and these companies have lost billions of dollars because they came out with this woke bullshit, and we decided, nope, not buying you no more. So they're fighting between, how do we survive?
Yeah.
How do we not fire people? How do we not lay off people? How do we continue operating as a business? Because we got these people who own us that are telling us one thing, and we got our customers that are clearly saying another thing. You know, so they're caught in the middle of this shit. And for the people who actually work for Bud Light, if you're just trying to pay your bills, like you're fucking married, you got kids, and your kids are in sports, and you got, you know, your freaking bills to pay, and you just want to sleep at night and work during the day and enjoy your weekends, and you're a normal ass person, like, I feel for you. But as a citizen of this country, if you want to reserve your rights and your liberties and your way of life and the values that is the American spirit, you got to do something. Every single fucking one of us. And if you're on the side that believes in logic and truth in America, then you can't just accept this woke shit. So I say boycott these corporations because money talks, bullshit walks every single fucking time. And if you're thinking, well, if we don't buy these products, then these companies have to cut costs or they're going to lay off their labor, right? So the delivery guy that's driving the truck to these local establishments and putting their beer in these stores, like he's going to lose his job. You know, his wife's going to feel that. His children are going to feel that. You know, like, I get it. You know, that sucks. But even that guy and myself and everybody else, I think we should boycott these companies, and instead, the only way to fight this is to fuck corporations.
Yeah.
Buy locally. Man, I'm getting ahead of myself. We've got a lot of videos to go. But there's a brewery somewhere near you that you could probably walk in there and talk to a guy, and the guy knows the owner. Or the owner might freaking be there. You know? Or the owner's kid might work there. You know, or his brother may be managing the place. You know, something like that. It's like local shops. They live in your city or in your county or like at least in your state. Like, it's not some corporation that has a headquarters in New York or California or some shit like that. These people are part of your community and they produce a product that's at least an equivalent or alternative to what these corporations are doing, right? And that's the soul of America. That's the American dream, like we talked about in the last episode, episode 9, before this one. Like, the American dream is that you aren't bound by birth with limitations, right?
Yeah.
You have the right to the pursuit of liberty. And if you say, like, hey, I'm gonna start a brewery, you know, I'm gonna invest my hard-earned money, I'm gonna get investors, invest their hard-earned money into this company, and I'm gonna make beer. You know, there's people everywhere across this entire fucking nation that are making beer, good beer. And you can just,
Right
instead
now,
of,
there's a big market for it.
hell yeah, but you can do that. And not just with beer. Beer's just, you know, we're fucking
The
Bud
most
Light.
latest example.
Yeah, it's just an easy one. But regardless of whatever product or brand you like to buy, you know, unless it's something like a TV or a computer or a cell phone, something like that, yeah, you're probably not having a guy that's doing this out of his garage, you know, or just rented out a warehouse or some industrial
like
building.
Farmers markets and co-ops and
Yeah, man.
like there's definitely options.
Real ass Americans that are working their ass off to build a company. Small business. Small business is what America was meant to be built on. And then these corporations got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're stepping on the necks of the little man. We, as conservatives, and that's what I consider myself as, we're the little man, right? We're the blue collar workers. We're the red, white, and blue Americans. Like, we want to conserve this nation. We love this nation. And when I say I love America, I don't mean I love Washington, D.C. I mean, I love where I live. I love my neighbor, you know. I love the potential future for my children, you know. I love our right to choose what we want to do. That's America.
Yeah.
And these corporations are not America. So am I putting my tinfoil hat on? Do I sound fucking crazy right now? Is this a little bit different than other episodes? Yeah, but I think it's fucking important. I think it's real, and I don't think, as crazy as it may sound, I don't think I'm off bases.
Yeah. No, I agree. As far as the boycott and this and that, you know, the previous episode, the guy with the Hershey's talking about, you know, not shopping there and they want to cancel them and this, that, and the other. That's my right to not spend my money where I want to spend it if I don't believe in whatever, him, her, his, that, theirs, whatever stuff they're supporting, are, spending the profit they made off of me to do whatever. They're giving millions away to the LGBTQI stuff.
Yeah.
And look, if that's who you are, more power to you. That's your right. But
Yeah,
you don't have to
sure.
shove that down me or my kid's throat when I go shopping in the store. And that's the right. That's what I disagree with, right? Everybody has rights and, should exercise their freedom. But my rights don't end where yours begin, right? Whatever that saying is, like,
Actually, that's the opposite.
okay, you're whatever. But
My
what
rights end where yours begin. That's the
yes,
saying.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Whatever I'm trying to say. So, again, like you said, it's not a call to violence or this or that. It's literally, I don't agree with what you're in support of, and I don't want to introduce my kids to that. They don't need to know that.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
young. Like you said, we have to protect them. It's my right to introduce my kids to those type of things and topics whenever I feel the time is right.
Yeah.
Not as a freaking toddler or child, or maybe not even adolescent, some of the stuff that you see, on all these shows and television, and, just the you mentioned teachers earlier, and it blows my mind that, these governments and states are giving all the rights and all the powers to do things behind parents' back, and with the kids and the transgender stuff. And where on earth did all of this come from?
Fuck yeah. I'm really glad you brought that up because it's all connected. We're
is.
not just talking about a beer company putting out a shitty commercial with a shitty spokesperson. It is all connected. And for the most part, you're like, dude, I'm fucking busy. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta mow the lawn before it rains. I gotta go to work. I got these fucking bills to pay. I got these kids to feed. My wife wants me to redo the bathroom. I got all this shit to do. I don't have time to worry about all this political bullshit. Don't bother me with it. That's the natural state, I think, for most people. And that's why America looks the way it looks right now. Right? Again, my freaking tinfoil hat. I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I'm not. I'm just looking around. I think a lot of people are actually waking up to the woke shit.
Yeah.
Because it's starting to affect our kids. And that's when people are starting to be like, what the fuck is going on?
All the mama bears are coming out.
Yeah, whenever you're seeing these videos of these people and having these insane school board meetings, right? Or like whatever the hell's going on, like Disney.
Oh, God.
We used to put on the Disney Channel when we were kids because no matter what was shown on that channel, it was appropriate for our age. It was entertaining. They had like wholesome stuff on there. But now they're changing Ariel from a classic character that was created before we were born to now our kids are like, hey, that don't look like Ariel. I don't understand.
And the fact that the kids are recognize this is that's not what Ariel normally looks like. What happened to Ariel? Why did she, like, they're literally making it a race thing and shoving it down their throats.
They're brainwashing
they're
these
ask
kids.
The questions. And don't get me wrong, more power to them for, all kinds of races to have a princess that they want to grow up and be like. But make a new one. Don't change because now and maybe this won't be the case, but then the white girls are going to be like, well, I thought Ariel was, like they identified with Ariel. Now they changed her. So what's wrong with me? What's wrong with my skin tone?
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know, man. Because, like, anyone on our side of the fence they want to call racist. Like, hey, I don't know if you looked in the mirror recently, but you're white. That makes you racist. Like, that's the fucking dumbest shit I've ever heard. Absolutely not true. If anyone, the left, the lefties, they're the racists because they're obsessed with racist fucking shit.
Yeah.
They're always talking about it. They can't live their life a day to day without being concerned with racist shit. Like that's not
Their
real.
go-to for everything.
Yeah, that's
Oh, you don't believe or you don't agree with me, you're a racist. You don't do this, you're a racist. Like,
and the reason
or homophobic.
the reason I
or-
get fired up about it is because just look at the numbers, man. Just think. Just stop the bullshit for 2 seconds and just fucking think. 14%. We have like, what, 331 million citizens in this country? Plus all the illegal ones. But anyway, 14% of them are black. Why are we so concerned with white against black? Why are they pitching this fight against each other? Why is this a fucking issue? Like, oh, every time you turn around, oh, white cops killing black unarmed man, you know? Like, there's a fucking purpose to this. And it's not social justice, you know? It's to break us down as a
divide and
nation.
conquer.
Yes, absolutely. We are the sole world power on this fucking planet, the United States. No one is going to come and conquer us face to face, fair fight.
No, they're trying to do it from within.
Absolutely.
And we're letting them. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
That
We're turning the
is
other
what people
cheek.
need to fucking wake up about.
Yeah. So again, conspiracy theorist,
I
if
don't
you want to
care.
call me that. But the shit's fucking real and it's fucking happening right now. And I think it deserves to be talked about. Probably like years ago, we should have been waking up to this shit. And I don't mean woke, I mean actually waking up. Commercial break time. Let me tell you about rebelshirts.com. Got new awake, not woke shirts, and everything woke turns to shit. Check them out. They look good. They look good on you. They look good on me. They got all sizes, a few different colors. So go check them out. Thanks for watching the show, guys. Because it's changing the world around us. And other countries look at us as the beacon of freedom. You know? I mean, I don't even know if we want to get into the Russian and the China shit. But communism has always been a threat. You know, that's why we fought 2 world wars. You know, that's why we have a freaking line down the middle of the Korean Peninsula. You know, we've been fighting communism, and now communism
It's knocking on our door.
is home. It's right here. You know, and for the past couple of presidential elections, socialism has been a real fucking thing. You know, and socialism is basically the welcoming mat to the door of communism. You know, you can disagree if you want, but dude, this shit's happening, man. And all I'm saying is, don't be woke, but awake. Like, just look around for 5 seconds and realize that all this shit's connected. All of it. And, well, I don't think that I have anything to worry about. Maybe I'm being short-sighted, you know. Who knows how long I'll live? I could die tomorrow, but most likely, I got, 3, 4, 5 decades left, maybe. And I'm not worried about me.
We have more than 3.
My mind's set, right? But it's the kids growing up today and the kids that aren't yet born. They're the ones that are in trouble. They're already in our universities and brainwashing these freaking kids. They don't know any better. They don't have the life experience to look at a situation and determine and think for themselves. They're just like, oh, okay, that's what you tell me it is, and that's what it is. You know, that's what I'm afraid of. That these people don't understand our true history, because our history is being erased under our feet.
Yeah.
Right? And they're being told, don't listen to those people because they're bad, they're evil. And really, these people, you know, they're just like our normal values and traditions. And who made us a world power? And who saved our European brothers and sisters from being conquered and massacred, you know, not that long ago? We're talking about like 1945 and World War II, man. And sure, we're not the 1900s anymore. But what goes around comes around. History repeats itself. Like,
We don't
the
learn
shit's
from
not
our
new.
mistakes. Yeah.
This shit is not new. It's just a little fancier.
Mm-hmm. All right, next video.
Yeah, we
Let's
could
keep going.
Man, I
We
just
could
feel
talk all
like
day.
yeah, we're sounding crazy.
It's
Like
okay. All is
obviously them
crazy.
dudes are drinking too much, but the shit's real. And honestly, man, if you at all can see this stuff like we see it, and you in any way agree with us at all, okay, we'll do that one.
It just
But
ties in.
like the video, comment down below. Let us know we're not alone. We're just trying to share what we see because it's alarming.
Or maybe you see it different. Let's have a discussion or talk about it. Like, maybe you know something we don't. Educate us if you think you know something. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we have open
I
minds.
feel like conversation is the key to the start of hopefully a better future.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I feel like it's kind of.
I know it's going to be pointless.
I mean, maybe so, but it's kind of past conversation because you're not gonna just have a conversation and change anything. The shit's changing already.
Well, I know, but the more people talk about it, the more likely people are to maybe actually think for themselves.
Yeah,
or look
like what we're
into
doing right now.
things, Or exactly, that's what I mean. Have a conversation about it.
Yep. All right, so this is the one you want? Oh, I fucking hate that guy, man. All right, let's watch.
Why
this.
are so many companies going woke? There had to be some reason, and after some digging, I found it. The CEI, Corporate Equality Index, aka the Woke Credit Score. It's a made-up score based on how much a company is pushing woke issues. And who made up and gives this score? An organization called the HRC, a massive political lobbying group. Apparently, HRC sends representatives to corporations every year telling them the kind of stuff they have to make visible at the company, give them a list of demands, and if they don't follow through, there's a threat that they won't keep their CEI credit score. And why do companies even care about this made-up woke credit rating?
If they get a bad score, then the woke investor funds start putting pressure on the boards. Woke activists are mobilized out in the streets. Advertising campaigns are shut down. Anyone that continues to do business with them will also be penalized. This is fascism.
Don't play their game, don't get their investment. And who is funding the HRC? Surprise, surprise, it's George Soros' Open Society Foundation. Now, this HRC has introduced this arbitrary credit rating to everything. States, municipalities, and even schools. Imagine that. There are people who are deciding what credit score an individual school can get. They threaten them by having these big funds withhold investments into them. We now have a made-up scoring system that doesn't physically exist, deciding how much digital money that doesn't physically exist companies get. And it makes people physically act a certain way. This is truly mind control.
Yep, absolutely. Especially when you talk about that digital money that don't exist. If anyone hasn't heard about it, freaking Google how the Federal Reserve is going to a digital currency. But another episode. That's it, man. This guy. You want to do him next?
Sure.
Let's just fast forward. Let's go to him.
Material for weeks. I can do this all day. Roll the first one.
Good old American boy. Fuck Bud Light.
You know, he's super proud of himself, too, that he spiked that box right on the thumb. But I couldn't help but notice in sport that you drove over that beer with your Chevrolet pickup truck. You know, as long as you're throwing away things that you paid cash money for supporting things you don't agree with, that truck might be a problem.
If you can't see it, it's a Chevrolet advertisement with the rainbow and everything. They're just saying that dude was trying to make a video protesting the Bud Light going woke.
LGBTQ Nation, authentic voices, pride. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's saying that Chevy also did the same thing.
You run by a dealership. Good luck finding a manufacturer, though, that hasn't participated. Next, we have this lovely couple.
So it's truly saddening that with the woke Anheuser-Busch Bud Light situation, come to do a little research and find out that my favorite beer is under the Anheuser-Busch umbrella.
And one of the ones I drink besides Bud Light.
So, cheers. Want to play the woke game? Fine, let's spend my money on it. Peace out. Sam Adams, I'm back at you, buddy.
Corrupt.
Oh, they did their research. Hey, what was that Last
So that's traditional American couple, and they're making a video taking their stand against the Bud Light woke shit, and they were pouring out a Michelob Ultra and a Stella, and this dude's just gonna bring it to their to light that yeah, whatever you say that you're gonna switch to and spend your money on instead of Bud Light, they're also in the woke game.
Yeah.
little part you said there.
Sam Adams, I'm back at you, buddy.
Corona.
You're a Sam Adams man now, are you?
It's a Sam Adams
I'm
rainbow
this
shit.
Is prettier even than the Bud Light can. So good on you. And then I believe your blushing bride there was starting to say something about Corona. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the Bud Light brand has been acquired by AB InBev, which also owns Corona and Modelo beers.
Corona Pride shirt.
So, but it's especially funny that the majority of people doing this, their go-to switch is Coors Light. Hey, Budweiser, I've been drinking your beer for probably 35 plus years. Not anymore.
Dude's drinking a
Well,
Coors.
you were drinking Bud for the last 30 years. Coors Light was out here supporting the LGBTQ plus community. 1978, the first brewer to ban discrimination for sexual orientation. By 93, they actually had a group that was specifically for employees who identified as LGBTQ, like a resource group for them. Probably the most prominent and proactive supporter of the LGBTQ plus community. So, thank you for supporting a company that maybe does even more than Anheuser-Busch does. We appreciate you. Material for week.
So, here's my thing. I'm all for non-discrimination.
Yeah.
That's completely fine. That's not the argument that we're making here.
Yeah.
It's literally that you're shoving all of this stuff down our throat.
Yes.
And then saying that we're homophobic or racist for not wanting to spend our money with you, or other people, the leftists, are saying that. It's my right not to spend my money there if I don't want to. Like, I don't want anybody to feel like they're being discriminated against because of their sexual orientation or who they prefer, whatever they prefer to do at their home. That's fine. Like, you have that right. But you don't have a right to shove it down my throat or put it out there and now I have to explain XYZ to kids, or, the things just, it
Yeah.
it makes me mad.
Absolutely. So it's not that we're anti-gays.
Correct.
Like, it's not like, man, fuck them gays. No, I don't care who you have sex with if you're a consenting adult. Whatever happens in your home, behind your closed bedroom door, do you, boo-boo. Like, I don't give a fuck. And I don't want to be in your business. And I want you in my business. You know what I mean? Like, you're free. Do your adult shit however you want to do it. None of my business. Do not care what the fucksoever. I care, though, that you preach double standards, right? So you can have your gay pride flag. You can have your gay pride parades. You can demand certain things and make a fucking fuss about it. If anyone did that for heterosexual reasons, had a heterosexual pride flag and parade and all that other shit, and shut down city streets for your heterosexual agenda, like, they would lose their fucking mind, right? So it's a complete double standard, right? And we're talking about a minority here. The majority of people are not gay. The majority of people are not trans. The majority of people do not give a fuck about any of this woke bullshit. They're just normal people trying to live an average life. That's it. It's a complete double standard. It's a complete bullshit campaign. All of it. And it's connected. And like I said earlier, it's about the kids. It's about the future. So yeah, these companies that are going woke, they're pushing this shit. And I don't want drag queens reading stories and having dance parties with children. I don't want this shit pushed in elementary schools. I don't want this put on brands like, hey, daddy, is that a man? Is that a woman? On a box of crackers in a grocery store. Like, it's just inappropriate.
Yeah.
So whatever you choose to do as a free citizen, do it. Because whatever I choose to do, I'm not advertising it. You know? Like, it's no secret we're married. You could probably make some assumptions about us. You know what I mean? But I'm not screaming it. I'm not making fucking social media posts about, guess what I did last night? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Licked it and sticked it, baby.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, that's my personal fucking business. And if you choose to do something different than me, keep it your own fucking personal business. But instead, companies that own companies are forcing companies to produce this type of fucking political and social bullshit and pushing it down your throat, and they're pushing it in the schools, and they're pushing it on society in general when you're only talking about a little tiny minute percentage of the population that even considers themselves part of that group. It doesn't make fucking sense.
Not to mention, like, kids are just kids and they don't know any better. And you're telling them that, oh, well, maybe you're a boy trapped in a girl's body or a girl trapped in a boy's body. Like, you're literally making them question themselves and putting all these thoughts in their head and then shoving it more down their throat. And they grow up and they're confused. And then, this, like I said earlier, the states are allowing, schools to do stuff behind their kids' back. And
parents' back, yeah.
You know what I meant. I can't. But like, if I was my kid, if he was gay, I would still love him. If he was confused, I would still love him. Like,
the difference is they're grooming them.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They're literally like forcing kids to question this or that, and then to not trust their parents and to not talk to their parents. The ones who love them more than anything in the world, for the most part. I get there's some bad parents out there. I'm not saying that.
For majority, though,
right.
All parents are pretty fucking
and they
decent.
Want what's best for them.
Absolutely. They love their children. And it's kind of like now they're in a fight against society to protect their innocence.
Yes.
Because these kids don't have the cognitive ability to look around with some type of social and situational awareness to understand who's fucking lying to them, who's trying to trick them, who's trying to push this bullshit on them. And it's toxic mentality. This fucking narrative is just trying to steal their youth and their innocence and persuade them to feel and think a certain way. And honestly, I think it really does stem from there's a bigger fucking picture here. We can't take over this nation because it's too rich and its military might is too big. So we got to break it down from the inside. And I really think that's what it. I mean, and look at history, man. Who could fuck with the Romans? Nobody but the Romans. So maybe this is just kind of the natural progression of society, human nature. Eventually, when you reach a peak, it's just a downfall. Maybe there's some substance to that theory. I don't know, but I don't think we need to just sit idly by and watch the world burn. Not when we have fucking kids. So if we can just change it at all or slow it down at all just by speaking on it, sharing knowledge, sharing what's going on,
yeah,
is definitely worth a try. All right, on the next one. All right. So we watched this fool, we watched that guy, we watched this guy, we watched this guy. This man.
Okay, you can do that one next.
Liz Wheeler,
yeah.
My other wife. So this is the smartest and most badass blonde because she's really a brunette. This girl's always on fire, but let's listen to her, and then we'll go to your Fox one.
Chick-fil-A, I regret to inform you, has embraced DEI. You can see on their website right here.
God's chicken, man.
They read our commitment to DEI. They say better at together. We are better together. One of our core values at Chick-fil-A, this is what's written on their website, means when we combine our unique backgrounds and experiences with a culture of belonging, we can strengthen the quality of care we deliver. Chick-fil-A Incorporated's commitment to being better at together means embedding diversity, equity, and inclusion in everything we do. This is a company that doesn't open on Sundays because they want to honor the Lord. They've been openly conservative. They've supported traditional marriage between one man and one woman when the entire culture of our country has rejected the objective truth of marriage and reality. So Christian, they print Bible verses on the bottom of the cups that the beverages that you buy from them come in. Chick-fil-A is embracing DEI, but they're completely wrong on this. In fact, it's this destructive attitude, this naive attitude, this blind attitude that has led the Republican Party to where we are today. Has led our country, bigger even than the Republican Party, to where we are today. It's led our institutions to the place where they are today, which is fully captured by a neo-Marxist ideology. Even a brand like Chick-fil-A, what's supposed to be the most Christian brand in the nation, woke leftists don't even eat at Chick-fil-A because the previous owner or the founder of Chick-fil-A supported traditional marriage. They think it's a bigoted restaurant. You can't even eat Chick-fil-A chicken because they don't embrace the LGBTQIA agenda. Well, now maybe they do. Not to be the bearer of bad news, but you can't explain this away. You can cover your eyes, you can be naive, you can put on blinders, but the reality of what we're facing at Chick-fil-A is going woke. This is their commitment to DEI. Oh, those dreaded 3 letters. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Not how you and I understand those words, right? The left, specifically Marxists on the left, what is their favorite tactic? Their favorite tactic is co-opting language. Their favorite tactic is taking words with positive connotations and redefining those words to suit their political agenda without really mentioning that they redefined these words. So they can just apply these newly defined words that people have positive connotations about to their hideous political agenda. That is DEI. Diversity is not diversity of thought and diversity of experience. Diversity just means tokenism. It means racial quotas. Equity is not inclusion. Equity is socialism. It's equal outcome, not equal opportunity. It's redistribution of wealth. Inclusion, it's not tolerance of other people's viewpoints. It's not religious liberty. It's the opposite. It means you will be forced to adhere to a radical leftist ideology so that their viewpoint is included in your belief system. It's religious persecution. This stuff is evil. DEI is one of the most dangerous things that we are facing. It is the encapsulation of communism, Marxism, and it exists in our country. So Chick-fil-A,
all right. First off, don't you think look at those roots? She's a brunette, right? Look at them eyebrows. Brunette?
Yeah, brunette.
Right? Mm-hmm. I don't know why she dyes her hair. But everything she says, spot on, man. That's what the fuck I've been talking about.
I know.
She says it a lot better.
Obviously.
She's on fire. But, I mean, that's it, man. That's why we have these videos. Because, like, this shit's happening and we're not just coming out, pulling this out our ass, right? This is the shit we're seeing, and if you're watching this, maybe you know better than us. But it's worth sharing because it's happening all around us.
It makes sense though. Like, who wouldn't want diversity and inclusion and equity? You know, like they all sound like positive things until what they really mean and what people are using them, that combination of words to do is just tearing down everything that we believe in this country.
Yeah, and moving towards socialism, which is a gateway drug to communism. Because if you're talking about inclusion, well, that just means like, okay, we can hire anybody that we want. We're not excluding anybody based on all of these fucking categories, right? Mm-hmm. If you're the best for the job, then we're going to hire you. But instead, they have quotas.
Right. You
right?
have to have so many of.
We need 30% of this type of person. We need 15% of this type of person. We need 10% of this type of person. That's not the best person for the job. That just means that we're going to get our little dick slapped if we don't hire enough people that look like this.
Yeah. Well, now they're not going to get their corporate funding.
Exactly.
Those 6 companies that own everything.
Yep, it's bullshit. And man, Chick-fil-A, that was the one place we had. Fuck, man. That was communist chicken.
Now I'm gonna go sit
Instead
in
of
there and
Christian
let Ryder
chicken.
play in the play pace and not even spend my money.
Oh, you rebel. Speaking of, yeah, she got a camo hat. I love the tank top situation got going on. It matches, but her hat says Rebel. My hat says Rebel. Rebel-shirts.com. You can find them there. Shameless plug. Anyway, man, I don't even know what to say about this shit no more. It's just so annoying. Like, I remember, it wasn't that long ago, when Chick-fil-A was under fire because they supported heterosexual marriage.
Yeah.
You know, as is defined in the Bible, right? So the media was hating on Chick-fil-A, and if you wanted to go support that business, spend your money there, whether you were hungry or not, whether you actually liked their food or not, a lot of people would go and spend an hour in a freaking drive-through line just to support their business. And now you're telling me that it's flip-flopped because they gone corporate, which goes back to my point. If they're a corporation, don't spend your money. There's local mom and pop shops that wake up every morning and prep their restaurants and make their food, and they don't have chains. And if anything, maybe they have a second location nearby. But they're just family-owned local businesses. The people that are working there, they own it. They live nearby. You know, they're people part of your community. Wherever you live, most likely, other than, you know, like tech products or vehicles, like what, freaking chicken? A chicken sandwich? Some chicken fingers and french fries? Shit like that? Like, you have mom and pop shops, small businesses. That's the only way to fight this. If you want something, just go get it from a local community owned small business. The only way to fight these corporations. Because it's our money. If tomorrow 0 people purchased anything from Chick-fil-A, you know what happened to their freaking stocks? They'd be hurting. You know, whether that went on for a week, whether that went on for a month, they'd be flipping out.
Wow.
And
this was only 2 days ago this was posted. So
yeah. And the idea behind, like, oh, we're only hurting ourselves as we do that because it's the small guy, the little people, us peasants that are actually working at these corporations. Well, sure. But if everyone's spending their money at local businesses,
those businesses are going to need to hire people.
Yeah, like immediately.
The people down the road.
Yeah, they have to hire people that live in their communities. And who's going to commute an hour to work at Chick-fil-A, right? Or work at your mom and pop chicken shop. You know what I mean? They're going to hire people that can be to work on time every day that they're open. You know what I mean? And if they get this influx of business, where they're going to reinvest that capital back into the business, and they're going to build and expand, and, you know, like, hopefully they don't turn into corporate businesses, but, like, there's an alternative to these woke corporations, and that's local small businesses, and that's the people that are living the American dream. Not these corporations that are like, hey, we've taken over the east side of the country. Let's expand to the Midwest, and then we'll get to the West Coast, and we're just gonna have like a McDonald's on every fucking street corner. You know, like McDonald's may have started out as a mom and pop shop, but I think they're a global corporation. You think they give a shit about you or your values or what goes on in your community? Absolutely not. You know who does? The people who live in your community, your neighbor. That's who cares. And I think that's the only alternative to all this bullshit is just be cognizant of how you spend your money.
Yeah.
Who you're supporting with that money.
I mean, obviously, like you said, not everything you're able to change, or you can't just go out and buy a new vehicle. Like, I get that. Totally
you got a
understand.
mom and pop shop that's producing F-150s. You know what I mean?
Hmm?
You don't have a mom and pop
Right.
shop producing F-150s.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not what we're saying. Just be cognizant of where you're spending your money now, right? Make a choice.
There's
make
no
a stand.
alternative.
Right, but I know that. That's why I'm saying, like, in the things you can change, there's always going to be things we can't. And there's just no way around it.
What's going to happen?
Except maybe Tesla.
I am a Elon Musk fan, and the things he's doing with Twitter now speaks loudly to his character.
Yeah.
And the whole Tucker Carlson going over there, and just like the things that he tweets and the changes he makes, and I mean the fact that he bought Twitter was a freedom of speech. He's standing his ground. He's like, hey, I see what you're doing. Fuck you, I'll buy it. You know, and luckily he's that rich. But I mean, it's not that there's no hope left. There's absolutely hope.
Yeah.
But if we continue just to stand by and do nothing, then
nothing will ever change.
We don't even have the right to complain anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I'm just going to pick up something quick to eat out of a window, I'm not going to do it at a corporation. You know, I want to do it with somebody who lives in my town or in my city. Support them. It's probably better food anyway. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right. Next one. All right. Let's see. Done. That one. That's one you want it.
Businesses that don't. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And you know, I kind of have a grudge with Fox right now because I was a huge Tucker Carlson fan. But let's watch it. I think it's a good video.
Go woke, go broke. Just ask Target and Anheuser-Busch. Target lost $9.3 billion in market value this week after customers boycotted their Pride Month merchandise. And Anheuser-Busch has lost $15.7 billion after partnering with trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney. Now, nearly 1 million Americans are flocking to a new marketplace. It's called Public Square, and it's making it easier for conservatives to buy from 50,000 companies that share their values. Joining us now with more is Public Square CEO Michael Seifert.
Public Square, y'all.
Michael, it's great to see you this morning. We've had a conversation here on the show about Public Square in the past, and I know that I got a call this week from Michael, from a friend of mine, saying, look, man, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's tennis shoes. I don't know what it is, but there's an opportunity here. There's an optimistic opportunity for companies and for individuals, for entrepreneurs that are ready to reflect or at least not offend American values.
Well, you're absolutely right. And not only is there a lot of excitement from obviously millions of consumers right now because they feel like there are hopeful alternatives to many of their favorite brands, but the entrepreneurs themselves are recognizing. We've had thousands of them join the platform this week and say, there is an unaddressed market here. If you are someone in this country who has more family values, loves your country, loves the Constitution and the values that it protects, there are businesses that would love to reach you, and these businesses are recognizing that that community and that trust that could be implemented in these transactions is a really strong desire in the marketplace. And in turn, we are witnessing this true patriotic economy grow in a massive way that I think is taking everyone by surprise and surpassing all expectations. It's really exciting.
Michael, I don't know if what you might use to quantify this, but do you have any metric? I mean, downloads of the app, businesses joining the Public Square, consumers, customers going to you, which you guys are essentially like a Yelp review in essence for businesses that would share your values. I hope I have that characterization correct. Do you have anything that reflects in the last couple of weeks or recently you've seen this uptick in growth from downloads or customers or from businesses?
Yeah, well, we definitely do. In fact, it's pretty exciting this week in response to the Target debacle, because parents especially are so frustrated that this major retail giant is indoctrinating the next generation away from truth and from their family's values. In response to that, we actually at Public Square have for 72 hours been ranked in the top 5 apps on the entire App Store. Not only that, we've been the #2 shopping app on the entire App Store for this entire week, ahead of Target. Target's ranked number 12. Amazon's ranked number 4. So it's been pretty incredible to witness the response. We've had hundreds of thousands of new consumer members join the platform, thousands of businesses, and the communities continue to blossom. The other thing I'll say too, Will, is that people are recognizing that whether you're looking for household cleaning supplies or a new pair of pants, you should be able to do that with companies that will give you a sense of
Go woke, go.
Gotta download that app.
Yeah, so I did, and just to let you know, Freedom Weight Loss Clinic, freedomwlc.com, if you're looking to lose a couple of those pounds, is actually on that app. So, Public Square seems like it's an app that's like a collection of companies that don't push the current bullshit agenda of LGBTQWXYZ 123 kind of shit. You know, like they're just traditional companies that uphold traditional American values. And now you can find a place that if you're looking for some type of outlet that lists the companies that may sell the products that you already want to buy, you can go there and just, you know, find someone who sells it and not support all that bullshit. You know, so it's not just us making it up. We're not just over here drinking and talking shit out of our ass. Like, there's real alternatives, and there's a fucking movement going. American conservative movement to not be part of their communist bullshit.
The silent majority are coming out to play.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, shout out to Danny Buzzum. Yeah, he just commented that. And this was 1 week ago. This came out on Fox News USA. So, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people standing up.
Yeah.
Because they see what's going on around them, they don't like it, and they're not going to pay to promote it. Because basically what you're doing, if you spend your money with these companies, with these advertisements that push these agendas, you're literally giving them your money to push that message forward. And me personally, I'm not going to do that shit.
Yeah. And I really like Target too.
I really like Chick-fil-A.
I mean, I like both of them. But
Yeah.
like,
Dude, you know what the worst one is? Honestly.
Bud Light for you?
I mean, sure. I used to drink a lot of Bud Light. If I went somewhere, there wasn't a place that I could go that didn't have Bud Light. Right? So, I mean, that was inconvenient, but Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels and Ford hit me the hardest. I love my truck. I love Jack Daniels,
But,
man.
I mean-
Even Jason Aldean talks about them good old boys in Lynchfield, Tennessee. Like, you just drink Jack Daniels and you feel like a good
They're
American.
A corporation now. I
I
mean,
know.
like literally, like
I know.
all of them are probably in one way or another doing this stuff. Maybe just not as public because they don't have a choice.
I get it. But that's not on me. That's
No,
on
I
them.
know. I know.
So now I gotta find me a whiskey company.
All I know is them CEOs ain't getting their $1 million bonus this year.
I don't know, man. Well, you know what? I have another saying that I like to say. Like, obviously, we can't predict the future, and just because I will not buy these products anymore, I mean, it's going to take millions of people to make that conscious decision as well.
Yeah.
To go out of their way to make sure the money that they spend is not going to these corporations that are pushing this bullshit agenda. Maybe that'll happen, but all I can say is we'll give them hell and time will tell.
Yeah.
That's all we got. All right, on the next one. I don't think we have very many more. So done. Is this the same one? Oh, we haven't got that one yet. But done and done. So we have two more. All right, let's hit.
Do that one first.
All right,
That'll be a good one to end on.
Good, I like it.
So we need to put a positive face on this, and we need to start focusing on the companies that do reflect our own values.
Yeah.
And that's where we got to put our money.
Yeah.
So I just started looking up like lists of non-woke companies. So this is just
Black
a
Rifle
kind
Company.
of basic list
Hobby Lobby.
of companies, and you can pause this video as many
Publix.
times as you need to see this short
WWE.
list. But something that this website
You're safe. Best pro shops on
recommends
there.
is going to a website called Public Square.
There it is again, Public
Oh
Square.
yeah.
Download the app,
And
y'all.
I found inside of there, I'm going to back this up so you can see. So Public Square, you sign up and there's all of these various options for companies, and some of them will be local to you. But it says, I was really struck by this one. Just don't do it, go train. So instead of the woke company, go over here and maybe you can buy sports bras from a company that focuses on the women who, I don't know, need the sports bras, right?
There's a concept.
Oh, I like that one, babe.
I'll buy it.
Look, it's kind of like the
So
one.
look at all these choices, and they're really not
nice.
very expensive, actually. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of funding people that want to shove ideologies down my throat
Thank
that
you.
I don't agree with.
We should have started
Ma'am?
with her.
Yeah.
I'm going to start purchasing from companies that reflect a value system that I can get behind.
Me too.
And I'm glad I found publicsquare.com and that I found that list of companies where I will be focusing on when I need to purchase things for myself or my family. If you know of a non-woke company or you are the owner of a non-woke company, I encourage you to share your company so that we can support you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like what she said. So, like her in the other video that we watched, Public Square seems to be the place to go if you're, a traditional American value style company. You're not pushing that woke bullshit agenda. And as far as this episode may go, comment down below if you're a small business owner and, you don't align yourself with the lefties and the woke bullshit. Comment down below, and whoever sees this, this video may survive on YouTube for a year or two, or who knows how long until we get canceled. But if you comment on this video and I'm in the market for whatever your business sells, that's where I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
And we need to support each other and like-minded individuals and small business owners that obviously stand for what we believe in. All right, last one. And then we're going to wrap this up.
Disney's just the perfect example of how woke the
Fuck
culture's
Disney,
got.
man.
Now, remember back in the day when we thought of a Disney princess? We thought of this.
Just leave it to me. What a gown this will be.
Cinderella.
Why, it's like a dream.
But Disney's reimagining the princess look. Disney now likes their princess with a mustache.
So my name's Nick. I'm one of Fairy Godmothers and Princesses. I'm here to shop you around and make all your selections for the day. Look at my fairy godmother. He's so cute.
Mommy, Daddy, why does that princess have chest hair? Well, little Susie, that's not Cinderella, it's Cinderfella. And that size 11 glass slipper, it shatters. And for $250, anybody can get a makeover in Cinderfella's castle. If little Johnny wants heels and lipstick, little Johnny's getting heels and lipstick. So open your wallet, and a grown man can throw glitter on your son. It's what Walt would have wanted. The magic kingdom where they wave a wand and your son's testosterone disappears. So why is corporate America Bud Lighting themselves? Because this is about more than just money. The people who are forcing these companies to Bud Light themselves already have enough money. They have so much money, they're looking for things to do. Who are these companies? Companies like Vanguard, BlackRock, the companies that own major stakes in Target or Disney. So with all that shareholder clout, they can force these companies to do whatever they want. They confess this is what they're doing.
Behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors. What we are doing internally is, if you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted. Okay, you have to force behaviors, and if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted.
So we went from the customer's always right to screw you.
Yeah.
This is all because rich white liberals on Wall Street feel guilty about being billionaires. So they force companies to go woke to pay off the social justice gods. And it's also brilliant class warfare. The peasants aren't going to storm the castle. You know, they think the rich guy that owns the castle's nice and lets everybody sparkle.
Oh, shit, dude.
I'm not even going to get into that with the kid.
But did you see that guy? You gotta force behaviors?
Yes.
Fuck you.
It's BlackRock owns like 70% of all of the goods and services sold in America, like as a company. I mean, I'm making that up, but it's a god awful amount. Like the top company that owns the majority of shares.
There's a few of them.
Right. But I'm pretty sure they're like the one that owns the most of the most.
Well, like Fox Homeboy there said, Vanguard and BlackRock, and I forget the third one. That earlier video said there was 6, but there's the top 3. I just can't remember the third one. But is these companies are basically saying like, hey, you're gonna do what we tell you to do, or fuck you.
Right.
And to me, I'm like, okay, well, fuck Disney, fuck Bud Light, fuck Target, fuck Chick-fil-A, fuck all of them. You're not gonna force my behavior. I make decisions for myself because I'm American. I'm free. I decide where I spend my money. And if that's the kind of shit that you're gonna basically state your businesses on, oh, I'm not gonna be a part of it. And now that we got someplace to go, like Public Square, like I'll just go there. I'll purposely go out of my way to make sure that when I purchase something or spend my money, it's gonna be in a company that either agrees with me or at least doesn't fucking open their mouth. You know, I don't know the owners of all these companies. I don't need to, but as long as they're not trying to push this shit, then I'm cool with them. That's my stand on it. So, like I said, this sounds conspiracy theorist-ist, but it's real and it's happening all around us. And it's been happening.
The mouth of the company.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it.
So I'm gonna do my best to make sure I don't support it. You know, and do I have millions of dollars that I'm spending? Absolutely not. But there's millions of us.
Yeah.
And we remember, and we've been educated on what a true American should believe in and how they should act. And the whole idea behind 1% or less than 1% of our population's transgender, or 14% of our population's black, or whatever you want to focus this new social agenda push on, whatever minority group. How about we say fuck all that? We're American citizens.
Yeah.
We're all free, and we should stand under one flag together. But instead, they choose to do this shit. And they're forcing behavior because they're so big and they got so much money. They feel like they have so much power they can just control the population. Fuck you. I'm petty enough to be like, you know what? I'll do without. If that's my only choice. Watch me.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think there's anything else we can say on that.
I can eat food out of my own damn garden.
Yeah.
Screw that.
Yeah.
I'll learn how to sew.
I can hunt.
I
I'm
mean-
good, bro.
I could try to sew. It ain't gonna be nothing special.
I mean, and
No.
like even when it comes to the vehicles, I've never actually bought a brand new vehicle, and I don't ever plan to. Even if I did have millions, I mean, vehicles themselves are such a bad investment. You want me to pay $100,000 for that fucking truck? Well, I'll pay 60 for one that's 4 years old. You know. Anyway, I don't know, man. It's just sad. In the America that I grew up in, at least for what I thought America stood for, and I watch these corporations and these assholes try and change the country I love, you know? And for what? None of it makes fucking sense. Why? Oh, anyway. I'm me, I know what I believe in, and I know where I'm going to spend my money. That's it. That's all we can do. And we're just trying to, we thought it was a good topic because we just want to try and spread the word. So I think I'm going to wrap it up.
Yep.
All right. This was depressing. Now we have no bonus topic because
We may not even have anything to drink for the next episode.
I'm finding me some goddamn American whiskey. Some non-woke, non-gay, non-trans whiskey. I'm going to find it.
Okay.
Non-corporation.
We'll let you know when we come back.
So basically, I think that's my whole point. Anti-corporation. That sums it up.
Perfect timing.
Yep, you're out. All right. Cheers. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out freedomwlc.com for weight loss. And rebel-shirts.com for some non-anti-woke bullshit. At least both those companies are.
Wait, non-anti-woke means woke.
You know what the fuck I mean? For some ungay shit. How about that?
Okay.
Anyway, I'm ready to call it a night.
All right.
All right. Thank y'all. Love y'all. See y'all. We out.